All right, it seems we're live. Hello, everyone.
I guess we're live, or I hope so. Anyway, let me put this right here. Uh, right. Hello, I'm Masked Artist. Let's put. Alright, I'm Masked Artist, and today I'll be reviewing this brush. Germany. The number 360. Alright, it's quite springy, that's all. But actually, for a brush for inking. Happy with, and we'll see if it's worth getting the cheaper ones. So I'll be comparing it with a rough ink and some water maybe as well. This one, the Da Vinci one. So I'm gonna clean the bristles. Right, it's clean. You can see it kind of has a very beautiful sharp point. And the only problem was when so transporting it home a new way. Let's open up the ink bottle and doodle some things. Come on. Alright. Here we go. Actually not bad. Right, how much ink to hold? Right. I think it's kind of good. I mean, some dry brushing here. As you can see, also not bad. Not bad. Alright. Well, I'm interested. Are there any people watching right now? No? Ah, that's right, right. That's not bad. Because I was thinking about doing this page because I have a little bit more traffic there, but at the same time I want to for the price again. Let's see. You can see that immediately. Also, the first line is very thick, full with ink, and that's not really good because, for example, let's say I'm making this, and then I kind of think where all right, we're live, I suppose. So these are the two brushes that I kind of compared. This is the upper one, around here, and this is the lower one. And I think the lower one is better. It just is, because this one doesn't hold a lot of ink. It does hold a thinner point though, so it can be useful for that. Because when you dip your brush in ink, you want to have the same thin lines as when you run out of ink, and this one allows that. This is actually pretty good to have that. But if I want to fill in a big area, let's for example say this square right here, if I want to fill that in quickly, it's not as fast as if I would do it with the other one. you have to control how much ink is in your brush. So I can of course use uh, kind of the glass to get rid of the excess ink. But even then, the thin lines, you see, the smooth lines are here. This one has darker lines, of course, because of lots of ink. The bristles can hold more, but at the same time, you have to kind of get rid of the excess ink. I think we are not going to be able to continue a live session because mm-hmm. But let's just do that for a little bit more. This is a test anyway. As you can see, now when I have a consistent enough line, I want to, for example, after I finish this, like I want maybe to refill this. So now it has a point, right? If I go, then we should be okay. That's because there is too much water in there. And the belly is full with ink. That's why there is so like. But when I run out of ink, let's say like this, now we have a thinner line because the bristles aren't going out to separate directions. Why? Because the belly isn't that fat anymore. Right here. If I fill it, now the belly is fat. The best in the world. With a loaded brush like this, you won't be able to have a thin line. So what I do is, for example, let's say I need to fill my thin lines. I fill it with ink. Now my brush just lost some ink. I do that again for this shape because it had to be done anyway. I was planning to do it anyway. So after I do that in a dark area, like maybe there isn't any more place where I need to fill in black. Yeah. Then you can just take a black that already is black and just go over it, and you kind of lose your ink, your excess ink and water in there. And if you really don't want it to go to waste, maybe you can even correct your shape. Like maybe it's not like edges, it's not really bad, or it has to be a little bit longer like this. You can kind of correct that. And now you have a very sharp brush because you lost the excess ink and water. Now you have thin lines that you can make. Let's see. Can be, for example, used in manga. Lines like that. And yeah, you just have to be aware that if, for example, I'm drawing a character, right? Let's say this is kind of the line art, yeah. Right. So we have our character. And let's say that I want to fill in some shadows like this. Right? But at the same time, I want to have some cross hatching. What I do right now is I do cross hatching because this is where my brush is best suited for at the moment with the amount of ink in there. So what I do is I make a lot of details that I wanted to have in there. And I do that until my brush is completely run out of ink. Because for these thin lines, you kind of want to same kind of consistency. All right, let's say that in the brush. So I go and I this board. Why? Because the brush is filled. It isn't in the state that I want it to be in. To the big areas, and I already am feeling like, all right, feeling this in. The brush is getting ready to go back to the cross hatching. So it's actually a matter of feeling your brush. All right, now that it lost most of its ink, it's ideal for cross hatching. Didn't waste any ink right here. I know some people that use an extra sheet of paper and they just do this to get rid of extra ink. And when they feel it, make their desired lines. But they a lot of don't want to waste it. They only use it for like only when they making something really cool or something like that. They aren't like, how do I say it? They aren't too sure about what they are doing because they lack that experience. So again, for example, let's just clean this brush entirely just to give you the example. So alright, let's say it's filled with ink right now. You can see I won't be able to make sharp lines because we have excess ink and we don't have alright. Now we still have our brush and it's low, and it's better if you do the sketch first before you even load this, because right now the brush is not thick inked, especially because if it dries you are in trouble. But this is kind of diluted with water, so I don't really risking anything. This is a test anyway. So what I'm doing right here is, as you can see, I'm filling in the shadows. I'm not doing the light. Why? Because I don't want to waste that ink right here. It may be a little bit, but over time it can add up like a lot. Like a lot. So, as you can see, I'm doing shadows. Now, I lost ink because I did the shadows. And my brush can make fine. It's actually ready to be used for line art. This is something that you actually really need to get by experience. And don't be afraid of experimenting with your ink and your brush. If you did watercolor before, it actually helps a ton. Like I was into what discovered inks, you know. As you can see, I didn't waste ink. Actually, also in its own way,